For nursery orphans beginning life's journey, no one is more important than your best friend. Someone to rely on as you explore your new world. But sadly, for Rumba, her best friend at Forest School hasn't made it to class. 6-month-old Cesia isn't well.
Saya memang merasa khawatir ketika melihat keadaan Cesia yang sakit.
She's been lethargic for the past few days with a high temperature. A blood test has just revealed she has malaria, a potentially life-threatening diagnosis that sends alarm bells ringing. Safeguarding the life of a vulnerable infant will make today particularly challenging for the team at the Borneo Orangutan Survival Foundation's Nyaro Menteng Center.
Sehat ya, biar bisa sekolah hutan lagi.
Surrogate mother Letta has been providing round-the-clock care ever since Cesia's symptoms first appeared.
Saya sebagai ibu asuh merasa sedih, kasihan karena apalagi melihat dia sakit.
The malaria parasite is spread by the bite of a mosquito. The first symptoms of a high fever, tiredness and muscle aches appear within a few weeks of being bitten. It can be fatal to humans and orangutans. Cesia was immediately put on an anti-malaria drug.
The key for us is treat quickly for malaria, for stop the spread.
Malaria-carrying mosquitoes moving through the close-knit community at Forest School could be disastrous. Overnight, Cesia became dehydrated, so she's on a drip, with a saline solution of glucose and electrolytes to aid her rehydration.
Sebentar, Cesia. Minum.
It's not only malaria the vets are concerned about. Cesia's young age and a history of early illness could make her recovery more challenging.
Cesia is still 6 months old, and it concerns us because really small orangutan. The malaria drug is safe for the infant, but it's kind of heartbreaking for us because she experienced a lot of disease.
Cesia was brought into the centre 5 months ago, having allegedly been found alone on a road on an oil palm plantation.
She's about 1 month old, and she was really tiny, and she has no teeth at all.
She arrived, as most orphans do, in a very poor state. Lacking nourishment from a mother's breast milk, Cesia's depleted immune system meant she was highly susceptible to disease.
We found a lot of worm on her feces. She's quite weak.
Learning that Cesia's body was riddled with worms, the vets knew they had a massive battle on their hands to get her back to good health. Worms are the #1 killer of young orangutans, so the vets immediately put Cesia on an anti-parasitic drug to fight the infection. Cesia spent her first 2 months in quarantine on the medication, and it worked. Once better, she was able to join the nursery class, striking up a friendship with Rumba, who had her own health issues with a paralyzed left hand.
Kita cek dulu ya. Okay.
After 3 months of playing together, Cesia is back in quarantine under 24-hour monitoring and care. Her case of malaria has the vets on high alert to act quickly if any more students show symptoms. Because it's happened before.
We have to be carefully about it because in 2008, we got like a disaster. We got like 40 or 50 orangutan had malaria, and some of them were passed away. So every time when orangutan got a fever more than 38, we have to take their blood and check the blood parasite, and also we check their hematology.
Cesia's temperature is now just below the critical 38 degrees.
Semuanya
The anti-malaria drugs appear to be kicking in, reducing her fever.
tetap sehat ya. Nanti bisa bermain lagi dengan orangutan yang lainnya.
It's now a waiting game. Cesia's getting the care she needs, but her weak immune system may yet struggle to fight a potentially fatal infection. So far, none of Cesia's classmates are showing any malaria-like symptoms. But Arga knows that regular temperature checks are critical if they're to manage a potential spread of the disease.
Gimana keadaan mereka, Mbak? Now, because of Cesia, I'm kind of worried with all of them, so we need to check them.
First, some preventative vitamin C,
Oh, senang ya.
which can help inhibit the development of the malaria parasite. Any temperatures over 38 degrees will trigger concern and require a blood test.
Cek ya. Loh, onyer.
Ini yang manis.
Onyer 37.5. Oh, it's normal.
Gejala kali.
37.7. Udah banyak sisanya. Tumben sih manis-manis.
Avo never misses an opportunity to bite a vet.
Nyer. Lepas. 37.3. Udah dapat.
Anya also now wants a piece of Arga.
Mau gigit ya, mau pasang gigi.
Last up is Rumba.
Hai Rumba.
37.2.
All clear. None of the infants have a temperature over 38 degrees.
Tenang Onyer.
Seeing Rumba getting more attention
Tenang Onyer. Bagaimana
spurs
ini?
Anya back into action.
Onyer. Hai. Tenang. Oh.
I think all the babies, they are healthy and there's no sign of fever. But please do recheck again tonight. If tonight there's be fever, just call me immediately.
Arga's relieved no one else has any malaria symptoms. But he knows the team can't afford to be complacent. The threat of malaria is hanging over Forest School. But with no new infections overnight, classes can carry on. The juniors are ready for lessons. But today's class will seem very different from previous classes, especially to the easily distracted Bumi. This morning, Sri is splitting the juniors in two. The younger, less skilled students will go to one forest classroom, while Bumi and the older, generally more advanced students will go to another. Sri hopes that by removing the temptation of the younger students, Bumi will refocus on learning from the more attentive ones. His track record for truancy and messing around means he's not learning the life skills he'll need if he's ever to be released back into the wild. His most recent escapade, seducing Greta to skive off lessons for the playground, was the last straw for Sri. Time for a pre-lesson snack, as Sri reveals her second plan to keep Bumi's attention in class.
Saya membawa hemok saat itu ke hutan itu memang untuk mereka bermain. Tapi prioritas buat saya itu untuk Bumi. Karena Bumi sangat suka sekali bermain di hemok.
Bumi's love of hammocks means he can't wait to get on board.
Bumi, belum diikat. Aduh.
Monita, another hammock obsessive, seems unhappy that Bumi's got first dibs. When Sri's back is turned, Monita tries a little gentle persuasion to dislodge Bumi. With Bumi in his happy place, Sri hopes to tempt him to learn a little bit about nest building. That's a no from Bumi. A determined Monita deploys a more physical approach. Success.
Bumi kalah.
Having lost the hammock, Bumi reverts to his old ways. He wants to play with Tristananti.
Naik orang ganteng. Aduh, gantengku.
Pestering his surrogate mums for attention is another bad habit of Bumi's that Sri is trying to break.
Menjadi seorang ibu asuh, kita harus mempunyai kesabaran tuh 2 kali lipat. Karena kalau kita 1 kali lipat kita dalam mengasuh anak manusia, tapi 2 kali lipat kesabaran kita untuk menghadapi orangutan. Karena mereka kita bilang jangan tidak akan mengerti.
Bumi's resistance to no isn't the only challenge he poses. His increasing size and strength are making him harder to handle. Sri diverts his attention back to learning a skill he's yet to master. Despite several lessons.
Cari kayunya dulu. Cari kayunya dulu.
Sri uses a favourite forest school incentive. Honey.
Ini pakai ini.
To help Bumi learn to find food in hard-to-reach places. With his taste buds tingling, Sri wants him to use the stick to extract the honey. But Bumi's tutorial is short-lived
Jangan dipaham.
when Bound decides to nick his log.
Dia meminta madu dikasih kayu.
Bumi shows some remarkable initiative in bringing a fresh log to Sri for some honey injection.
Okay.
It's a milestone moment for Bumi and Sri. He's got it. Sri's persistence is rewarded at last. Things have taken a sudden and dramatic turn for little Cesia. She's being transferred to the intensive care unit as her condition has deteriorated. Aga doesn't know why.
Her condition go down really fast. Everything's not good with her.
Cesia is fighting for breath and has an irregular heartbeat. She's drifting in and out of consciousness. priority is to get Cesia onto oxygen to help her tortured breathing.
Harusnya kalau oksigen
100.
100.
The oxygen helps to stabilize Cesia's heart rate. Her blood pressure is now close to normal, and her breathing has improved a little.
So now we'll do more examination on her.
Arga still needs to understand what caused her sudden deterioration. He suspects Cesia's first round of antiparasitic drugs didn't rid her of all the intestinal worm larvae. They've taken hold again, further depleting her immune system. But that wouldn't account for the sudden decline. It could be that Cesia is suffering from a new infection.
Jadi ini ambil darah lah.
A blood test should reveal the cause.
Maaf.
But Arga can't find a good vein.
Hah? Nggak ada darah ya? Nggak mungkin. Kok nggak keluar? Cesia is really small orangutan. When we try to take the blood, it's difficult. Ini masih ambil darah lagi.
Ya. Maaf.
Despite Cesia's dire state, Agus believes in taking a positive attitude.
Saya rasa kita baik memupuk optimisme daripada pesimisme. Optimis untuk lakukan apapun yang bisa kita lakukan. Kita tetap usahakan.
Weh, ada Pak Agus langsung dapat.
Mana babynya?
The vets decide to give Cesia a colic medication to help ease any pain she might be in.
Lu suka nyari.
Haus dia.
Iya.
News of Cesia's decline reaches Sri, who feels a strong connection to the youngest orphan currently in her care.
Sebagai seorang ibu, melihat keadaan seorang anak kecil seperti itu, kita merasa sedih. Kita cuma nunggu medis untuk melakukan tindakan medis.
As Cesia rests, Sri's praying there'll soon be an improvement in her condition. Away from Niaru Menteng, life on the pre-release islands can be challenging for those who graduate from forest school. The students are monitored to check they're using the survival skills they've learned so far and have the confidence to live more independently. Additional food drops supplement the wild nutrition they must find for themselves. After a shaky start, former class clown Valentino is adapting well to college life. He's even made some new friends. It's a whole family. And they've never been to forest school. They're completely wild. The island's monitoring team has given them names. Mum is Daput. Her 1-year-old baby is Manda. And Embeng is her 3-year-old son.
Dia adalah orang hutan betina yang paling dominan kalau untuk sekarang di Pulau Salak.
Daput was living here before the islands were designated as a pre-release site. After the orphan students moved in, she stayed on and has learned to take advantage of some of the tasty college perks. And so have her offspring. It's extremely rare for a mother to support 2 infants in the wild. Normally, there's only enough food to care for one. But the food drops provide ample nutrition for Daput to raise two at the same time. Valentino's become well acquainted with this intriguing family.
Valentino, he is very social and very friendly with the other orangutan. I think Daput thinking Valentino she is very, very funny.
She even allows him close contact with Embeng, an unusual tolerance for an unrelated older male in the wild.
Maka dari itulah timbullah rasa kedekatan.
Embeng's father is unknown. Baby Manda was almost certainly fathered by forest school graduate Patruk, who's now the dominant male on the island. The family doesn't seem to be afraid of him the way the others are. Wild male orangutans play no part in bringing up their offspring. That's all taken care of by the females. Valentino's friendship with Daput is purely platonic. But if he pays close attention to how this experienced mother uses the forest, he could learn a lot about how to survive on his own. Back at the vet clinic, Aga is processing Cesia's blood sample in the hope of finding out why her condition has deteriorated so dramatically. The blood analysis machine reveals an alarming result.
The hematology test show that she has really high white blood cell. It's quite high for orangutan. Really high.
The high white blood cell count signals a new infection. Cesia's immune system is now fighting on 3 fronts: malaria, parasitic worms, and now a new bacterial infection. Cesia's defenses are slowly being eroded.
I'm worried now.
Aga switches to a broad-spectrum antibiotic in the desperate hope of tackling this new infection. An intravenous infusion should quicken the impact of the new drug.
I hope that she will be okay after this. She's not conscious yet. Now I'm going to give the analgesic medicine to her just to make calm and relax. Biar dia istirahat aja berarti ya.
Iya.
I'm really sad ya, to be honest, because yesterday I thought that she show improvement.
Aga just hopes the new antibiotic will turn Cesia's precarious condition into a more promising one. Later in the day, Aga returns to check on Cesia's classmates.
Halo.
His worst fear may be about to be realized. The surrogate mums have spotted a problem with 18-month-old Eco. Eco is unusually lethargic and has red eyes. An eye infection could be a sign her immune system is under attack.
I will check the eco eyes because looks like he got a little bit reddish.
It's vital that the vets investigate any reports of illness, no matter how minor. Because if it turns out to be malaria, they need to treat it immediately.
Nggak bisa.
Apa? Sudah.
It's not easy doing a health check when surrounded by a bunch of attention-seeking infants.
Mbak Leta bisa bawa AVO kah?
Eventually, Letta acts as a decoy, so Arga can get to Eco.
Apa? Ini buah.
Eko. Nah. Oh, matanya merah, Mbak.
Iya.
Lu lihat merah ya?
Iya.
Konjungtivanya masih nggak terlalu merah sih, tapi udah mulai ke arah pink. It's not usual, not like normal eco, just like not really active. Actually, you should be really active orangutan. But what happened today? I will give eye topical to Eco.
The drops should ease the irritation in Eco's eyes.
Oh,
Sudah.
you feel better
Sudah
now? Yeah. Yes, I am. Ini nggak ada yang diare, nggak ada.
Tidak ada.
Demam nggak ada, semua aktif ya.
Ya, aktif semua.
Given Eco's condition, Arga ends the class early to get the patient back for a blood test. Better to be safe than sorry. In intensive care, Cesia's still in a critical condition. Fiat has taken over veterinary care from Arga. The new antibiotic is making no difference.
Cesia mungkin perutnya ini sedang tidak enak, sakit. Dan ini beberapa kali dia seperti nahan sakit, mual, dan mau keluarkan semua yang ada di perutnya. Dia nih capek.
The new development causes the vets to think again.
We a little bit worried. I did recheck again with the fecal sample. They're still warm and a lot of bacterial as well.
With the medication not working, they're now worried the infection could spread.
Maybe can be infection to other organ also. If it worse, that can be going to everywhere. That's called sepsis. So we don't want it happen with Cesia.
Sepsis, or blood poisoning, could be a hurdle too high for Cesia. Agus wants to try an alternative medicine to prevent the infection worsening. But the nearest stock is a 5-hour drive away. It may be their last hope.
Very sad to look her like this. Kami masih berusaha semaksimal mungkin. Menurut kami mungkin masih ada harapan.
But will the drug make it in time to save Cesia? Agus is now concerned that Eco may also have malaria. A positive result could mean the centre is facing a repeat of the devastating 2008 outbreak, and they'll need to stop it.
So in here, every orangutan with fever, we must be checked for malaria.
A fluorescent dye will stain any malaria parasites in Eco's blood, making them visible under the microscope. It doesn't look good.
You can see the result from Eco's blood smear. This is look like parasite. That's malaria.
Confirmation of a second case is very worrying. But the vets acted swiftly, quarantining Eco.
We treated with malaria drugs already, but I just want to make sure she is okay.
The good news is Eco's condition has not worsened. They may have dodged a bullet. Having caught it early, and because Eco is more robust, the vets don't have the same concern that they have for Cesia. The staff know they can't prevent an outbreak, but if they respond quickly to symptoms, as they've done with Eco, Sometimes they can reduce its impact, but they must continue to be vigilant. Others may yet exhibit symptoms in the coming days. The surrogate mothers maintain a bedside vigil to comfort little Cesia. Having been at the centre for over 20 years, Sri's seen many sick orangutans. But the plight of such a young infant is particularly heartbreaking.
Kalau perasaan saya untuk Cesia, melihat dia itu seperti anak kecil saya sendiri.
Just like a mother would, Sri gives Cesia words of encouragement.
Cesia, kamu harus kuat. Kamu harus lawan sakitmu. Saya berusaha megang tangannya. Elusan di badannya agar dia merasa tenang.
Sri feels at a loss seeing little Cesia battling such a big infection.
Kemarin kamu gerak tanganmu. Ayo, Cesi harus kuat. Semangat, Cesi. Ayo bangun, Cesi. Cepat sembuh. Main dengan kakak Munir. Main dengan Rumba.
Berharap sangat untuk Cesia bisa sehat dan pulih kembali.
The new medicine is finally here. They are pinning their hopes on it working.
Usually we'll take 5 minutes to give this injection. It's like a slow IV. Okay, it's done. Tonight, Agus will have night shift. I'm worried about her, like, I'm scared, to be honest, because we experienced like this case before, and she's just passed away. So I don't want it happen to Cesia.
Dan itu biar sekecil apapun harapannya masih kita usahakan.
At Forest School, the orphan students learn from their human surrogate mums. But on this pre-release island, the college students have a very different teacher. Wild mother Daput is showing her 2 infants how to survive in the wild. But passing on her knowledge isn't restricted to her own family. Daput's experience of life on the island is also helping some forest school graduates to fast-track through college.
Kalau menurut kami, orang hutan akan lebih mengerti bahasa sesama orang hutan. Maka dari itu, mereka akan lebih mengerti kalau sesama mereka yang mengajarkan.
They learn from Daput how to find foraging food or what danger in the forest.
Her presence has a particularly positive influence on the female students.
Kalau menurut saya, lebih bagus belajar sesama betinanya. Daput ialah orang hutan yang dianggap oleh kami ialah super mom.
With no experience of being nurtured by their own mothers, the female orphans have a lot more to learn if they're to one day become mothers themselves.
Dia mengajarkan bagaimana mengasuh anak, menyusui, dan bagaimana memberi suatu pelajaran terhadap anak.
Paying close attention to Daput's life lessons may be a reason why the females are becoming more independent faster than the males. Top of the class is 9-year-old Hanin. When they were first relocated to Salat, She and Valentino were inseparable.
She's also playing with Valentino because, you know, they have the memories from forest code.
But now she's become more independent and spends most of her time alone. It's a promising sign. Self-reliance is an essential skill for survival in the wild.
Every single day, Hanin learn more. And really good progress for orangutan.
With great agility, she maneuvers through the canopy. And she's less reliant on the supplementary food drops.
She climb trees and eat not only the fruit, yeah, also the young leaf, flower. She's very clever.
I love Hanin so much. She's really good orangutan, very sweet, very, gentle orangutan, and she's really independent and doesn't want to, interact much with people. She's just doing her own stuff.
Hanin's now accomplished at finding and gathering the sweetest shoots from the swamp forest. A skill she's likely learned from Daput. Eight-year-old Weenie also continues to adapt well to island life. When she arrived, she'd often spend her time along the edges of the canal, awaiting the monitoring team's visits. But now, following Daput's example, she's venturing into the forest's interior, where she's eating well on a good variety of wild foods.
Winnie is one of the orangutan is like really independent, yeah.
Winnie is not too social. She likes to be alone in the forest.
Like Hanin and Weenie, 11-year-old Chinta also spends less time with the others. But for her, it comes more naturally. Not long after Chinta moved to the pre-release islands, she went missing, causing huge concern for her well-being. After a frantic search, she was eventually found safe and well. Her independent spirit was on show from day one.
Jadi agak tidak mau terlalu berbaur sama yang lain. Dia hobinya sendiri.
Chinta has also watched Daput. The wild mother's positive influence may even lead to an early graduation for some of the forest school females, as long as they keep making good progress.
Itu sangat menguntungkan. Karena apa? Daput itu adalah orang hutan yang sangat membuat orang hutan dari Nyaru Menteng itu akan maju. Majunya apa? Maju untuk berkembang di dalam hutan, mencari makan, membuat sarang, biar nantinya biar lebih cepat untuk rilis.
For the monitoring team, it's an accomplishment to see the college students progress. But someone is becoming too clever for their own good. On the adjacent island, Untung has discovered a break-in at the feed warehouse.
First time I don't believe, yeah. I don't believe when I come to our pot store.
He needs to find the thief and put a stop to their mischief. If the burglar has struck once and got lucky, the chances are they'll strike again. And this time, he'll catch them on camera. The trap is set. But will the clever culprit show up a second time? Back at Nyaru Menteng, it's the end of the school day. The younger class is reunited with the older class, which Rambo, Caladan and Greta mark with celebratory roles.
Ayo Noah, kamu udah dapat rambutan nanti.
Time to unwind. With a few treats before bedtime. Bumi puts into practice the skills he's finally mastered earlier in the day.
Ayo Pa, pulang. Mbak Serinya mana?
The cry pulang, or home time, signals it's time for bed.
Ya, lewat.
But getting young orangutans into their sleeping cages can be as challenging as getting kids to bed.
Ya.
Bumi, who's done so well all day, takes pulang to mean
Bumi,
it's time to scarper.
sini ya. Wai. Ya Noah, ayo.
Monita's not keen on bed either and decides to follow Bumi's lead.
Kita Monita yuk. Monita.
Fleeing their surrogate mums is catching on. Y is at it now. Monita escapes upwards.
Monita. Bumi. Ayo. Sini ya. Wai. Wanita, minum yuk. Wanita.
That's Y caught. Just 2 more to go.
Wanita, sini ya. Jajal.
Oh iya, Monita. Monita.
A tasty treat gets Monita back on the ground.
Oh iya.
Sri sets a banana trap to try and collar the evasive Bumi. Gotcha. Mission accomplished. Eventually, the surrogate mums have everyone bedded down for the night. In the intensive care unit, the night will be long and anxious as the vet team waits to see if the new drug can save Cesia. August is responsible for the all-night vigil.
Cesia is the smallest baby in our center, so we feel like really sad because we really love Cesia. We want to help Cesia. That's too serious for the small baby get that infection. Kita hanya berdoa sekarang semoga dia bisa merespon dengan baik treatment yang kita lakukan. Banyak kasus di orangutan yang besar masih bisa selamat. Harapannya itu juga terjadi pada Cesia.
As dawn breaks over Salat Islands, someone triggers Untung's feed warehouse camera trap. It's not clear at first who it is, until she turns to camera. It's Hanin. The star student's long arm puts the bolt just within reach. And with a few subtle flicks, she's in. Bananas are the prize for her ingenuity. But that's not enough for Hanin. She wants more. Vegetables for the main course. What Hanin doesn't know is that Untung is heading her way to check the trap.
Hanin! Hanin!
He's disappointed to discover the thief is Hanin.
I'm really like Hanin, but sometimes Hanin can be really a naughty orangutan. When I see the camera trap, my feeling is, oh, that is my fault. Hanin more clever than me. Yeah. Clever and strong, yeah. Hanin, balikin. Nakal kamu, Hanin, ya. Pagi-pagi kamu sudah bongkar-bongkar gudang.
So now Untung knows who the thief is.
Nakal kamu, Hanin.
But how did she work out how to get in?
Hanin learned from the technician, yeah. When technician opened the door, I think Hanin learned about that, yeah. Really incredible orangutan.
Just how Hanin was able to cross the canal between the islands to reach the feed warehouse is revealed by another very clever female, Melanie. At a very occasional super low tide, the water level drops enough for the smartest to attempt a crossing. Most orangutans don't dare to even try. But Hanin and Melanie are rare exceptions and very carefully pick their way across. Their intelligence and ingenuity may one day serve them both well in the wild. But until then, Untung needs to stop their temptation to cross. He's ordered a new key-operated lock and has doubled the security on the feed warehouse. That should stop a repeat of Hanin's crime spree. The challenges for the Nyaru Menteng team are many and varied. The hardest are when anyone in their care is sick. Cesia has made it through the night. While Argus relieved, he's saddened by another new development.
Early morning, she started to cough, like a lot of cough, and with our stethoscope, we heard there's a crackle sounds. There's a liquid in her lungs.
Yet another complication.
I'm feeling really sad because I thought personally like I could make her better. We still have a chance, but yeah, finger crossed.
There's still a slim hope the new antibiotic could halt Cesia's decline. One of the youngest and frailest orphans at jungle school has shown what a fighter she is. But right now, her life hangs in the balance.
We need a miracle